All right, so some facts and statistics. Children's early vocabulary skills do link to their economic background. 34% of children entering kindergarten lack the basic language skills needed to learn how to read. A child who's really reading, does more than just sound out a word like cat. He must also be able to know whether a cat is a person, place, or thing, to comprehend the grammar in each sentence. Does the cat wear the hat, or does the hat wear the cat? To dramatize and contextualize the story in their head. Cats don't normally talk and wear hats, do they? And to empathize with the story's characters and understand the ramifications of their actions, that mom is sure going to be mad when she finds the mess made by the silly cat. In other words, reading Dr. Seuss's The Cat in the Hat is an incredibly complex task that requires significant understanding beyond just being able to sound out words. It is based as much on a knowledge of how the world works as it is on how language works. So even though a toddler or a preschooler may not be ready to translate letters into phonemes into words, they are able to start gaining the contextual grounding that will allow them to give those words a meaning. Although summer is such a critical time where children can leap ahead or tragically fall behind, children are at risk of losing some of the learning obtained during the school year. Students who do lose reading ability over the summer rarely catch up and have a very hard time trying to do so. Over time, the summer learning slide can add up to the equivalent of 3 years of summer reading loss by the end of 5th grade. Expecting more from young children than is developmentally appropriate may just frustrate them and turn them off to an interest in reading when it is most important and crucial for development in future grade levels. It is extremely important for children to develop a love for reading before they try to master the mechanics that go along with reading. As a child grows older and develops both the vocabulary and his or her letter recognition skills, information travels that circuit almost instantaneously, and reading becomes a second nature to them. Rich home literacy environments support the development of young children's phonological awareness. Early exposures to literacy activities promote children's narrative skills. There are 5 areas of reading instruction that children are expected to master: phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, vocabulary, and text comprehension. I will go into further detail, but fluency is an extremely important component because it is providing a bridge between word recognition and comprehension as a whole. So with that being said, phonemic awareness is the ability to notice, think about, and work with the individual sounds in spoken words. Phonemes are the smallest parts of sounds in a spoken word that make a difference in the word's meanings. So, as an example, changing the first phoneme in the word mat to cat, which will be from M to C, so then the meaning changes. Children can show they have phonemic awareness in many ways. Recognizing which words in a set of words begin with the same sound: bell, bike, boy, B at the beginning. Isolating and saying the first or last sound in a word. The beginning sound of frog is F. Ending sound of sit is the T, so t, t, t. Combining or blending the separate sounds in a word to say the word, so app, so lap. Breaking or segmenting a word into its separate sounds, so up. As far as phonics goes, phonics teaches children the relationship between letters, graphemes of written language, and the individual sounds, phonemes of spoken language. Teaches children to use the relationships to read and write words, Knowing the relationships will allow children to automatically and accurately decode or figure out new words. So the one article that I used had crucial and vital information. So these are what I'm reading from. Most teachers are acquainted with several approaches to phonics instruction, including these that are listed below. The distinctions between approaches are not absolute, and some programs of instruction combined approaches. Synthetic phonics. Children will learn how to convert letters or letter combinations into sounds, and then how to blend the sounds together from recognizable words. Analytic phonics. Children learn to analyze letter-sound relationships in previously learned words. They do not pronounce sounds in isolation. Analogy-based phonics. Children will learn to use parts of word families they know to identify words that they don't know that have similar parts. Phonics through spelling. Children learn to segment words into phonemes and to make words by writing letters for phonemes. Embedded phonics. Children are taught letter-sound relationships during the reading of connected text. Since children encounter different letter-sound relationships as they read, this approach is not systematic or explicit. Onset rhymes phonics instruction. Children will learn to identify the sound of the letter or letters before the first vowel, the onset, and in one syllable word, and the sound of the remaining part of the word, the rhyme. Fluency. Fluency is the ability to read a text accurately and quickly. When reading silently, they will recognize words automatically. Fluent readers are able to read aloud effortlessly and with expression. Reading fluency can be easily developed by modeling fluent reading by having students and children participate in repeated oral reading. Vocabulary. Vocabulary refers to words we must know to communicate effectively. Oral vocab are words used in speaking and recognize in listening. Reading vocab are words we recognize or use in print. Vocabulary is important because readers must know what most words mean before they can understand what they are reading. And last but not least is text comprehension. Comprehension is the reason for reading. Good readers are purposeful and they have a reason why they are reading. Good readers are active. They think actively as they read, and they make sense of what they are reading. I also found this in the same article. It's just a little perceived positive attitudinal models. So basically what they did was try to figure out what part of the family kind of influenced them to read and kind of read and have the attitudes for reading. So the highest response percentage was the mother at 78%. Father came at second with 55.6% positive attitude. 47% with like a sibling, a sister sibling, so a female sibling. Then a grandparent at 40.9%. And then a brother, so a male sibling, 36.8%. I just thought that was kind of crucial because you would think the mother or the father would basically have that over influence of positive attitude regarding reading, but it's actually the mother and a female sibling, because sometimes it is referred that the whole general aspect of reading is known as a feminine activity, but fathers are also doing an excellent job of modeling positive reading behaviors for children, but mothers are most aware and likely to be perceived as reading models for children.